Happy Wednesday, everybody. It is great to be back. And I told everybody in the Hive Discord today to buckle up because we had a lot happening today. We have earnings coming out. We had the Fed, Jerome Powell, come out at 2:30 p.m. to tell us exactly what happened and what will happen with the rate cuts. So the bullish news or expected news for the markets is that we got a 25 basis point rate cut. He then went on to say something else that is absolutely massive. I'm going to unpack in this episode, which is that he announced the end of QT on December 1st. That is so big. And I just want to translate that through charts, what's happened in previous in history, and all of those data points that show that is a massive move. It's announcing the official pivot of the Fed. That is like something that I don't know that the market is pricing in right now in this moment. Now, we did get what was expected. So, volatility around expectations is usually, next to none or just right around the same. Usually we get a dump when, it comes in less than expected and or pump when it comes in higher. But guys, these things are unpredictable. And that's why we have Rob on here today to tell you that you should trade the charts and not the news. But back to this news about Jerome Powell, okay? I'm actually going to share my screen. But before I do so, I want to shout out to all the real ones in the comments. Magnus, what's up? What's up? Brian, welcome to the show. Real Ice Bear, hello. Skull. Yeah, that was fun. 25 basis points, but we might not get one in December. So that's the second part of this is then Jerome, good old Jerome, just had to do it to us. It's Halloween week, and he decided to spook the markets by saying that a rate cut in December is far from certain. Why can't you just let us, have our moment, right? But so, he is saying that inflation is high because of tariffs, which is also interesting because what's more alarming, I guess you could say right now, are the jobs which are declining, right? And so there's just a lot of noise happening. So we're going to sift through that noise today and dissect that. I'm going to go through a few really important points that you guys need to keep in mind so you don't lose focus, okay? And you keep your eyes on the prize because we are right there. And I'm going to say it as long as it takes to let it resonate with you guys, because even though he did come out and try to spook the markets, he did announce the official pivot, and we're going to show you what's happened in history when that's been announced. All right, Joe, what's up? Welcome to the show, our #1 supporter. Thanks for being in here. Yeah, we started a little bit later today, but we are here now, and yes, Megan is pouring a tequila sunrise. Oh, I wish I was. Not today, but maybe on Halloween or the day before, since a lot of you guys are going to be out partying. So let me know what your drink of choice is today. I'm just water today, guys. I'm just like cold water. I'm focused. I'm in the zone. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Living the Vida Loca, says Brian. Oh, yeah. So, yes, Jared, you're absolutely right. It is massive what happened. I don't care what he's saying about that they're far from certain in December. They are not going to extract liquidity from our system anymore. They will be injecting liquidity, the opposite, quantitative easing. And that is when the party starts. That is when we get the cheap, fast money, which all of the experts say, that's when risk on assets thrive. So yes, nothing burger. Well, Richard, you are right, but there is a point that is not right because it's not really a nothing burger if he's announcing that official pivot. He's actually saying, okay, we're going to potentially just let the markets rip. That's what that is. That's the pivot that we've been waiting for, right? What's up, Pipeline? Long time no see. Welcome, A-Team in the house. Cypherium, new, but you're from the Clash fam. Oh, we've seen some of you. Pineholio. Oh my gosh, you guys. Pineholio. They have one of the funniest podcasts ever. You should definitely check that out. The Pinecast, right? Am I getting that right? Super funny. Great Theta community people. I still have some tea fuel for your vodka. Yeah. Maybe we can do a collaboration with ATH vodka and Theta and tea fuel. That'd be cool. But welcome to the show, Pineholio. We're going to keep it real with you. Okay. So I'm going to share a few things with you guys. First things first, I'm going to share a video just so you can see why it is that this is so important and why we are all going to win. And the title, Will Crypto Finally Take Off with this Fed Pivot, and why it's so much bigger than so many people can imagine, right? New to the group, Eagles Quest, what's up? I love it. I love that eagle. So we're about to play this video so you guys can understand why this is such a big deal, okay?
Quantitative tightening probably stopping. You'll get another rate cut on December 10th. You'll probably get another one to start next year in January. And then you're going to get a new Fed chairman in May that's going to want even more rate. right? So we've been through this scenario before in 2021. Inflation went from 1.4% to 7%, and the S&P was up 27%. And so you're in that same exact environment where everybody's going to win, enjoy the party as long as it lasts, and then prepare for a hangover sometime late next year.
Right. I was just looking.
I really like that. Enjoy the party while it lasts and prepare for a hangover next year, aka correction, crash, bear market, whatever you want to call it. So, guys, we're going to be celebrating here with ATH vodka. You know it. And we'll all have a hangover from everybody winning. I mean, that's sort of what this spells out, or what's at least spelled out in history, right? When this has happened. And there are a few very specific data points I want to point your attention to right now, so you really understand the magnitude of what has happened today. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you guys so I can show you a few stats, because it's pretty astounding. Okay. I'm going to put myself down here, and we're going to go here and have a look. So this is just the news. Okay. Jerome Powell saying President Trump's tariffs are causing higher overall inflation. When you really look into it, is that actually the cause? Okay. There's a lot of noise going on right now. But I want to take you through why this is so significant. All right. So this is the Kobesi letter. And this is what I've been sort of keeping my eye on as the Trump tariff playbook. Right. So let's go ahead and go over some of the stuff. But first off, stocks. Market concentration hits another record. The top 10 U.S. stocks now reflect 41% of the S&P 500's market cap, an all-time high. This marks the 6.2 percentage point increase in April 2025 since January 2024, increased by 8.4 points. And as a result, the market cap of the top 10 stocks has surpassed 25 trillion for the first time, and their value is now equal to 83% of the entire size of the U.S. economy. Big tech is colossal. So that's the first thing to note. And then here's something very interesting, okay? And this is why this is like really history in the making. So today, the Fed will cut rates. They did cut rates with the S&P 500 at a record high for the first time in history. In all four of the previous times this has happened, the S&P 500 ended higher 12 months later. So the average 12-month gain is nearly 20%. Fuel to the fire. Fast, cheap money that will make everybody win. Just don't forget that phrase. I mean, I think that says it all, right? And that this is like in history, at least, and it makes sense on a macro level. So I don't know if you guys can see this chart, but this is the SPX price chart when Fed cut at all-time highs. You can see here back in 1986, and then again right around here in the mid 90s. And there's a couple of points mixed in there. And now we have one here in 2025, potentially another average 20% higher in the next year. But don't forget that 20% higher may come with a hangover mid-2026 when global liquidity peaks. So that is potentially part of the puzzle. So here's another summary. It's the day we've all been waiting for. The Fed will cut rates for the second time in 2025, all as the U.S. government shutdown enters day 29 and the data continues. This will then be followed by a crucial press conference with the Fed Chair Powell. 1 hour later, Meta, Microsoft, Alphabet will report earnings, and those earnings for three companies are worth $9 trillion in market cap. Buckle up. There is a lot happening. But is this actually what's dictating what's happening in the charts? Another note here from the Anthony Pompliano. I just did a Twitter Spaces with him last week. He's a phenomenal speaker and a great thinker. I believe he has a really amazing analysis on the market. So later today, the Fed is expected to cut interest rates. Stocks and Bitcoin will likely continue higher through the end of the year. Assets are addicted to cheap money. Here it is again. This is the driver of all drivers, guys. Forget the four-year cycle. Forget Trump. Forget all the stuff. Forget the tariffs and the noise. What drives markets is liquidity, period. And we are lagging that liquidity cycle. We're right now, global liquidity is skyrocketing, or has been. Gold has, made an enormous run. And, what comes next is that money flooding into risk on assets, and Bitcoin has previously, every time this has happened, gone higher. Okay. So this was other news, but this is also noise, guys, because here it says Trump insider with a 100% win rate closes $300 million longs on Bitcoin and ETH. The Fed meeting is coming. Does he know something? I mean, this is all over the timeline now, especially when this whale kicked it off for this massive past liquidation event of 19 billion. This is what I want to remind you to tune out all of this noise and just tune into our streams, guys. Just tune into our streams and see what we have to say about the charts, because you're going to be much more focused. You're going to be able to make much better decisions, and it's going to be so much easier, right? Because trying to figure this out based on tweets and information you see is not going to be conducive to gains all the time, right? So, so this was the video that I showed you. There's just so much going on right now. So a rate cut is almost confirmed. It is confirmed. The end of QT program after 4 years. So we've gone through 4 years of quantitative tightening, meaning taking out money from the system. Money is not cheap. You can't borrow it cheap. Conditions are tight. So if the Fed announces that, which it did, it's the first major bullish signal for altcoins. Also, Powell's speech is important because it could hint more easing in the coming months. So he didn't do that. Instead, he gave us the end of quantitative tightening, but then he said, hey, but I'm going to spook the markets. I'm going to tell you that next rate cut that's not for sure. Oh, however, just remember that Trump said he could replace Jerome Powell as fast as by the end of this year, right? So that's also something that's on the table. And this is just like I was paying attention to the news as it came in. And so he says, Powell says that tariffs are pushing up prices of goods. Yes, but is that the cause for the inflation, the debate? And finally, after Powell decided to spook the markets, we had 300,000 liquidated in the past 15 minutes. So that's all what happened today in the crypto world. And it's been an exciting day indeed. Guys, let me know what you think about all of this happening and what your plan is, because number one is and always has been, you must have a plan and a strategy regardless of anything that's happening and regardless of what you want to happen, right? So we're going to be prepared for all scenarios. And that's why we do these lives Monday through Friday. So if you like that, smash the like, hit the subscribe, share the stream. We really do appreciate it. And also sign up to the Hive trading Discord. I'm also posting my alpha in there. We're posting news in there. We're letting you know things as it happens, keep you updated on everything. And it is open for everyone until Friday. That's Halloween, October 31st. So take advantage of that. And as well as the deposit bonus for BYDFI, which is in the description below. You get a 50% deposit bonus. And it's a really, really big offer to get your feet wet. All right. So take advantage of that. Both links are in the description. We'll get those up on X now momentarily as well. And yeah, Brian, Marin voted for 0.50. Okay. Well, let's see what happens. We got Joe in here. Remind everybody to smash that like. Thank you so much, Joe. And on that note, guys, I think we're all ready for a little bit of charts and analysis. So let's bring up Rob. How you doing, Rob?
Pretty good. How are you doing today?
I'm pumped. There's lots going on, lots to dig through and decipher on a macro scale, but as well as looking at the charts, because there's a lot of fear and uncertainty on the timeline right now. But what are you seeing, Rob?
What am I seeing? I am seeing a retest of the one-day SMA 200 and the POV, so potentially some good pullback entries. And if you did open up any shorts, which technically I actually didn't open up any shorts on this pullback, one, because everything was sweeping the highs, and I didn't have time to watch the charts in order to get the entry I wanted to with the right risk management. But
right.
You did take shorts open, then it was pretty good profits today probably in those areas. And right. I'm also seeing a lot of green in the market.
Right. So everybody's talking about pullbacks and, oh, this is bad for Bitcoin. It's shaking up the market. Is that what you're seeing?
I'm not really seeing anything crazy. Like, I mean, maybe in the 5-minute chart, sure. But I don't trade 5-minute charts. I'm not a 5-minute guy.
Right. But you're picking up the bags of cash off the floor instead of the pennies.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
I was actually at a doctor's appointment. Why everything was going on today, I had to go see the back doctors. And right before I got home, or right before we started this is when I got home. And when I looked at the charts, I went over and looked at everything, and everything on the one day that I'm looking at is in the green. And there's a good 30, 40 tokens on the list that I'm looking at right now. Like there's a lot in the green. That's all I can say. Or that didn't do anything today. They're still just basically, right. Yeah, if you're over trading or if you don't know what you're trading, then you could be losing money. But if you just really didn't do anything, you're either at break even or nothing really happened.
There you go, guys. Stay cool, calm, and collected, which is our motto on this channel. Just zen and just stay chill, right? It's okay. We're gonna be all right. We buckled up, we braced for impact, and here we are now. And it's not looking too shabby. I mean, we're gonna pull up the chart. So whenever you have those ready, Rob, I will pull them up because I don't see them down there yet.
Oh, reminding me. Sorry.
But Mitch doubled down on his theta bag at 54 cents. All right, Mitch, let's go. I mean, that's when the winners are made, right? When you buy the dips that make you sick, if you're an accumulator, and if you're of the belief that we are going to get that next run for altcoins, which until proven otherwise, I believe we're going to get that cheap, fast money, and that translates oftentimes to, Ethereum going to new all-time highs, large caps moving, cycling into mid caps, and the cycle continues. But again, I'm of the opinion that the 4-year cycle isn't the biggest weight. The halving isn't the biggest weight. None of that is. It's all about liquidity. If we get liquidity, they're going to want to bet on altcoins because we're getting ETFs for altcoins. Institutions will have access. And Rob and I were talking today about the fact that all of the normies, okay, just for lack of a better word, have access to a lot of these cryptos on Robinhood, on Revolut, which is huge in Europe. I mean, they're massive, and in all over the world, really. It's just like it's easier and easier access. So yeah, 50,000 Theta. Let's go, Mitch. Let's go. What's your goal? What's your Theta goal? What are you running a validator? Are you staking? What are you doing with Theta? But that's pretty cool. JD in the house. Did you also accumulate some Theta, JD? That'd be pretty awesome. I think, Rob and I were going over the Theta chart the other day, and we're still on like the ground floor entry. So,
too. Yeah. I'm going to put my personal indicators on and see what it says just to see, just for fun.
Yeah. We'll have a look at that for all you Theta lovers later on in the stream. So let us know if you like Theta and you're in the audience. We had Pine Holio. Pine Holio is like, I don't know, the Theta spirit animal. So that's going to be a fun stream. And so let me bring your charts up, Rob.
All right. Right before we start the charts, let me know when you're pulled up. All right, pulled up. Yep. Okay. So just something I just posted in the Discord just for today was criteria of a good trade. Your technical analysis needs to be on point. Follow the news. Do not trade during the news. And that's a really big thing. I didn't really post many trades in the last day or two because you don't really want to trade during news events unless you're really, really, really good. And no matter what, the reward always needs to be bigger than the risk. Right. So that's something I just posted in Discord just in the moment there. And also next to it, I said it points to identify in a trading strategy is your entry system, money management, risk management, stop loss size, risk management, and keep records. So that way you can always, if you don't keep records, you can't get better. If you're not keeping track of what you do, you don't know how to get better. So this is something I want to mention to you guys is make sure that's up. I'm going to be giving a little more tips and hints as we grow and everything. And those are just really two big ones right there. And today was a big news event. It was a good day not to trade if you don't know what you're doing. But one of my rules, if I'm sitting at a computer, I don't trade 10 minutes before the event or 10 minutes after.
There you go. It's good to stick to a plan and stick to your rules. And first up, I want to give a shout out to Graham, all the way from the other side of the world in New Zealand. Go ADA, go HBAR. Let's freaking go. I mean, I'm telling you, those big caps are going to be the first ones to move. And those are the ones that I'm focused on right now, the big bags, right? Because the smaller altcoins are, they get hit harder and it takes longer for them to wake up generally. Although Rob is posting all the best setups. So if you're a trader, you can also be focused on the setups that are ready to pop, so to speak. So Mitch says he's hoping to see Theta retrace to all-time high. Retrace to all-time high and possibly 3 digits so I can leave. Oh, you mean like get back to all-time high, right? So you can leave construction. All right, Mitch.
Oh, yeah. Retracement. When you put fibs on it from high to low and starts going up and hit the fibs, that's a bullish retracement.
Okay, right. So we'll have a look at Theta later because we got some Theta lovers in the crowd. But first, let's see what's happening with Bitcoin because all of the fear, is that merited? Are we having something out of the normal happen, Rob, or are we just still retesting?
I mean, we're still just retesting. Like we got up to here, and the other day I said I pointed an arrow going down to here. I think I posted it in group as well too. Down in this little yellow area, which is a POC, onto this support right down here, and also support right here with the 1-day SMA 200. We're testing the 1-day 9. We haven't closed underneath that just yet, so we'll see where the 1-day closes. So we're still retesting. We were actually looking for this pullback, which I wasn't. That's where I'm at, looking to add bags that potentially on alts once we start confirming stuff. Or maybe adding, I have to dollar cost average up because of my dip buy, but that's where I'm going to be looking. That's where I'm looking to buy. Now we close underneath it. The ones that I buy on this dip right here, I leave those entries. I'm going to get better entries later on. But as of right now, I'm going to go ahead and turn off this indicator so we can see if there's any wicks or anything. Let's go ahead, turn this one off. And we'll zoom in a little bit. And as you can see, we are getting a red wick, and it just kissed the one-day SMA 200. So let me move this trend line. So we're legitimately just kissing it. So buyers, it looks like buyers are coming in on this area. Let's see what the volume kind of looks like on it. And it's very low sell volume, so that's good. So yeah, that's what we want to see. We want to see supports retested in the hole. That's part of trading. You want those higher lows and you want those retests. It builds up strength for later. So that is a good thing in my opinion. Our next level we need to break is the SMA 50 level at $114,326.20.
All right. So there you guys have it. What Bitcoin is doing right now, haven't broken any major structure, just retesting, trying to figure out what the next move will be, but no cause for alarm or for panic just yet, right? Everything is still sort of as we left it. And Rob actually told you that it could be dipping down into these levels on the past few live streams. So El Gamid, what did you miss? Well, basically our friend Jerome Powell, the head of the Fed, came out and said that we got a 25% basis point rate cut, which was what was expected. He said we were going to stop quantitative tightening, which is massive. We went over all those points about why that's going to potentially be a boom for the market. Long story short, that means fast, cheap money and everyone will win. Okay, that's just like what I'm going to stick with. That typically is very, very good for risk on assets. He did come out and spook the market and say that a Fed rate cut is not certain in December. Far from certain were his words. So that's just sort of why everybody was a little bit negative on the timeline. But if you look at the charts, they're just showing us. I mean, Rob said too, for altcoins haven't done hardly anything. A lot of them are still in the same ranges and Bitcoin is still retesting. So there's no cause for doom and gloom right now as it looks in the charts.
Yeah, you look to the right side of my screen right now. That's like a bunch of tokens right there that are in the green on the one from a day open. So on the day, that's
right.
I don't call that a pullback.
No.
So yeah, looking strong. So I mean, so right now Bitcoin, there has been no crazy updates on it. Nothing really to change. We're waiting for the one-day indicators to cool down. 12-hour. 12-hour, we got a bullish change of character, bearish change of character right next to each other. That just basically means we're consolidating. So we just keep on getting a change of characters. We're consolidating. That's all. Change of character, change of character, change of character, change of character. And we're making this broadening wedge right here. And we're just consolidating still. We're still in consolidation. No major changes. No major signals are flashing. Just it's building up for the next move. Whether it's up or down, I don't know. But we're in a uptrend. So I'm going to go with the probabilities of up.
Yeah. And plus we went over all the high time frame indicators or the important ones to watch. It was the weekly, right? Or the bi-weekly, watching the stochastic cross up, right? Which was one of the most important indicators to getting momentum back into these markets and confirming above the 20 level.
Yep. And I mean, yeah, we're almost, so the yellow line is the bottom line. That is, we are looking at, it's at 20.96. So we close here on the weekly. We technically got a confirmed bullish crossover. So now we just need that get up to 50. That's the next level that we need to go on there. That's when the momentum really gets strong and you get those giant impulse moves. But sometimes we get that beforehand as well too. So this is a very big weekly close for the Stosh RSI on Bitcoin weekly. Very big deal. Very big deal. And there's it's the weekly. I don't have my notes in front of me, of course, but is it the weekly or bi-weekly? I think it's the bi-weekly. It happens every twice a year.
Right. I think it's bi-weekly as well. But what I will say while he's looking that up is, while everybody's looking left or right or whatever way they're looking at the negativity and they're looking at like the uncertainty that's happening and sort of the noise. We're looking right. And we're looking at the bigger picture, which is the momentum that potentially will come back into this market with this cheap, fast money. And we're all going to get drunk. And then we're all going to have a hangover after the party. That's that's from the video that we played earlier, El Gamed. So yeah, that's just where we're at right now.
Yep.
And
yeah, so there's really no updates on giant updates on Bitcoin to be worried about on anything as of right now. Still, the only bearish indicator is the bearish divergence, which we can add another one on top of that as well too, as we showed in the other live stream that the stock market just broke a 3-month bearish divergence. So
Right, which was another huge thing that happened that not many people were reporting on or paying much attention to. So those are massive things happening in the background that the market potentially doesn't price in because people aren't necessarily looking at those factors. They're tuned in more to the day-to-day and the news and stuff like that. So so let's see if Bitcoin can follow and break its bearish divergence as well. That would be the next important step.
So what was my next one I was going to look at? So we're going to look at this another one chart I made yesterday. This is USDT chart right here. So this is the dominance of the stable coins, and I inverse the chart. And what we have here is an ascending triangle when you're inversed, and that would be a bullish pattern. So if you put it back normal and inverse on that one there, that means there's a higher probability of this actually breaking down, and that would be really bullish for the market because that means the stable coins are now flowing back into Bitcoin or altcoins. So that is a very big deal as well too.
Right. This kind of stuff makes me smile because all these points of confluence are adding up and it's just hard to ignore now. It's hard to ignore. Yes, we've got that bearish divergence, but how many bullish indicators do we have, or like how much bullish confluence do we have to show us that like what potentially could be coming is big paired with the macro news, which is the most important part. So yeah, this is really interesting.
Nothing really changed with the monthly here on Bitcoin. Sorry, I didn't really get to check over any charts before I got home because of the doctor's appointment. So I'm kind of just looking at them right now.
Yeah, that's okay.
So to the right here, this is what I'm liking as well too. So the butterfly down here, we got the green buy as of down in here, and we haven't even flipped green yet, so we're not exhausted yet on the butterfly, and that's had a very good call win ratio of when we get our next leg ups once we flip green on these. So we're getting lighter on it, and it's a very good indicator that I started paying attention to on the ETFs here. So I'm just looking to see if I like trying to find the stuff that could be bad so I can protect my portfolio and maybe get a dip or short the market. So back to this chart, nothing's happened. I can say there's a lot of nothing's happened. Do we have a sell signal? So you guys know this chart right here, the golden Fibonacci ratio, no sell signal, no sell signal, still testing support line here, and nothing. I don't see anything. So I think we should jump into some alts potentially while we're waiting for new signals on Bitcoin.
Right, but important part is we don't have a sell signal, right?
Yeah,
so we're still just maintaining structure and building support, and hopefully, we'll consolidate a little bit while longer and build a very strong foundation and use that for blast off. But until proven otherwise, things don't look too bad, guys. Things don't look too bad at all.
Global liquidity you were talking about, we're still basically just right at that Fibonacci level that we're looking to see if we can break it. So everything's just at a waiting game still. So we need that. Global liquidity has been going up right here, and now we're just at the last Fibonacci, the 2.618 fib, and we need to break and get above that.
Right. So we're just here like with our popcorn watching this play out where everybody's freaking out about all of the noise and all the stuff happening. We're just chilling. We're just chilling and waiting to make our monster moves. That's what we're doing on this channel. So that's powerful, right? And thoughts on altcoins. So Krikra says, any thoughts about fartcoins? So I think that the AI coins will get another massive run and they'll have their day in the sun again. There's a lot of hype around NVIDIA and around AI. And I can see that I think that they may have another day in the sun. I have some AI 16Z and, like my speculative bags on that market. But as far as the chart, we would have to have a look at the chart. But that's my thoughts on AI coins in general. And I think fartcoin just specifically appeals to the masses because they find it hilarious when the news reporters report on it and they're like, hot air only rises. And I just remember all of this stuff from when fartcoin was taken off. So I think there's a lot of meme ability there. So I think it has a good shot at, being the star of the show at some point during this alt season.
Oh yeah, I think it'll do good. Last Bitcoin chart here, 3-day cloud chart here, still green. We're still retesting it, holding the support, and that is a good sign as well too. So we're not underneath it, we're not turning it red.
Right. No, good. Nothing concerning. That's the point. Nothing concerning here except for Jerome Powell trying to shake us out of our positions, right? But nothing else is too concerning here. So maybe we can jump into some of the charts and just have a look. Maybe we have a look at Theta and see if we're still at that ground floor entry that we discussed last time.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure we are. I think I checked it earlier today, but let's go ahead and do a double check on it.
All right.
Yeah, I just don't have any interesting it's on Bitcoin, so it's just more paying attention to what's hot in the market right now.
Right. And cutting your losers and adding them to winners. That's one of the things that I've been doing as well. As we, as certain alts have not exhibited extraordinary strength. If you're holding on to one because of a narrative or team, that's different. But for me, the small cap alts right now, I'd rather focus on the larger caps that are, showing strength. So let's see what's going on with Theta. You Theta Grew, are you still there? Let us know, because this one's for you.
All right. So yeah, we're still right basically at the same level we were before. We're on bottom support. We're testing this wick right here. So we're on very bottom support right now. This needs to hold right here. And the great news about it right now is the same things we went over yesterday. This token here, our Stosh RSI is down on the floor as well too. And that there, once it starts curving up, starting to going up, that's probably going to be your best entry with the least amount of risk, due to after that is whenever we should get some impulse moves on it. So we're just still testing here, trying to build support. Not much to change on it. Is there any? Let's look at the monthly real quick. Do I have monthly indicators on this one? Even the monthly indicators on it are bottomed out on it. So
Right.
yeah, and these crosses have, I think it goes only, last time we got one was in April. We had a pretty good bounce after that. We didn't go into any new time highs. Then we came back down, and now we're back down here again. So a great entry. Hang on one second, guys.
Looks like the kids are home, but I'm going to shout out to Real Ice Bear. Imagine explaining to your friends and family how you made your millions on Fartcoin. That's exactly why I think it could do well, because of the memeability of it. Like it's just incredibly memeable. I do hold some because of that reason. So yeah, I think that'd be really funny, wouldn't it? Like, you made your fortune on Fartcoin. You'd be a really cool, like, parents, right? If that happened. Mitch, Theta, I hope you guys are loving this. We're at ground level entry on support. That is when you typically make the absolute best buys. So that's where we are right now. And we're about to cross up, and all of the indicators are at the bottom. Mitch here says about to burn some rods and on 2-inch pipe for more Theta and T-Fuel. Let's go. Do you stake? Are you staking? Yeah. How long have you been in the Theta community, Mitch? Richard, I know you've been bearish. I've seen your comments, and that's okay. Everybody has their own opinions. They're entitled to, but as it stands, we're not in a confirmed bear market. So what are your thoughts? Why do you believe that the bear market is in? Let us know. Red Bull, we will fly very soon. I mean, that is what the data is telling us, okay? At least from my perspective as a macro investor, the data and the macroeconomic status, so to speak, shows and points to the fact that we could get a lot of money injected into the system soon. And Trump is very bullish on crypto. His net worth is primarily in crypto now, right? Like his biggest net worth. And he wants to leave his legacy as somebody that did something great for the markets. We all know that. So just all of that combined with the fact that there aren't any, things to confirm in the charts that we're in a bear market. For me, I'm positioning myself as such and getting ready for what could be a potential explosion, but you also have to plan on what will you do if we do get a mini bear market? What will you do? That's also an important question. So Mitch, more of a big picture, long-term investor, but hopefully life-changing returns aren't too far away. Yeah, I mean, just the longer you are in the market, it's proven that the more success you'll have, right? Especially if you're holding Bitcoin. Nobody's ever lost money in a 4-year period holding Bitcoin. That's huge. This is an asset that is appreciating. Now, the altcoin market is a little bit trickier. And so that's when you want to start using the higher level time frame, bigger indicators like the ones Rob has been showing us, and let those lead the way, right? And so if we do get that confirmed stochastic cross up on the weekly, we could be in for very good times ahead combined with all the other factors. So yeah. Whoops, I'm going to add your charts back to the stage. I think you're muted, Rob.
I think I'm muted myself.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, there we go.
All right. So yeah, my kids, they haven't figured out that whenever they come home, they can go get their snack. They got to come talk to me first. But anyways, yeah. So I'm still looking at Theta here, and yeah, we're just on that ground support. And it looks like we're in a long time. Like when I zoomed out like this is the most bullish thing I see. It looks like we've been in accumulation for a good 1,260 days.
Wow, that's a long time. You guys have been really patient, haven't you? These are patient holders.
So I'm gonna pull up another chart because that just reminded me of HBAR for some reason.
All right, HBAR. Who was that? Yeah, that was Graham. Where you at, Graham? HBAR in the house. Lots bullish happening on HBAR ETF loading, locked and loaded.
Oh yes,
Let's go.
yeah, we're in a buy zone right now on HBAR from our last setup here, but yep, that's it. All right, so I actually did this on my X. I have to find it on my X. I did it live on X, I think, a long time ago, and the reason so the Theta chart just made me think of HBAR for this reason.
Okay, let's hear it. Rob connects the dots like nobody else. I'm telling you guys, this is really fun stuff. Putting the pieces of the puzzle together.
And the time when like I legitly posted on X before we were in the hive and everything like that. I posted HBAR right here, and I opened up a leverage trade on a weekly chart without zooming in, and it was right in here. I think, yeah, it was right in here, and I waited a little bit and just took off, and it was ridiculous gains, and it just popped off. Yeah, 2024. And it was the break of the 1 day or 1 week or 1 week SMA 200. So now that I'm looking at it right here, it had a long time accumulation. That's what I was looking at. How long is this accumulation? This was 889 days before we had a pop. And
wow.
Now, whenever I was like looking at the Theta chart, like we're at the very bottom, kind of like right in this area. We're testing these highs right here, testing these lows right here, and we're in that area of that long accumulation. And you can sit there and see how right here is where you had that crossover, and that led to this next big rally right here, right in here. The RSI going sideways, popping up, staying holding right around 34, going up over 40. So that's the indicators are kind of going in the same direction. So you can see how when this crossed 50 right here and retested 50, that's when we got the giant move. That's why I said after you create the $20 level cross, you look for that 50. We crossed that 50, retested it right in this area, and boom, that's whenever HBAR did its big move so far that we had this bull run. And that was
wow, that's super interesting because that's previous bull cycle. So what is that year there where it's still accumulating at these levels? No, but it's the previous bull cycle. We were back to previous bull cycle low levels.
Yeah,
and you accumulated that. Right.
So that was back in December 2020 levels it was hitting.
Right. Oh, wow. So that's even further back. So Theta, we're back at those previous like lows before the last bull market took off. So it's potentially another chance at this entry, and it could do something like HBAR did with even longer accumulation. So I like to look at that as like potentially the longer you stretch the rubber band out, the farther it's going to shoot. Do you know what I mean? Where you're building and building and building.
Well, I look at it as if it's going sideways and not making any more newer lows, or it's just in that range, it's building power up to make a massive move up, which is a good thing. I mean, somebody big's buying it, and they're slowly buying in. Especially if it's making a little bit of higher low, like once it starts making a little bit of higher lows, that's whenever you know that this big money's starting to buy in, because they can't all buy. They want that price to stay suppressed, because big money, if they want to load up on their bags, they buy it all at one time. It's just going to shoot the price up too fast, and they don't get a good entry point. So they just got to keep buying over time. What they're doing basically at that time. And these are the type of signals that kind of help you alert. Like they're going to be whenever these are at the weekly lows like this, that's probably when they're going to be buying. They're not going to be buying when they're at the weekly highs like that. They're going to be taking profit probably.
Yeah, and I want to call your guys' attention to what Rob said. He actually took out a leveraged position without zooming in to the lower time frames, just because these signals are that powerful. So let's jump back over to the Theta chart and see, just so you guys can envision. Now you've seen what happened to HBAR. Now let's see what Theta did when it was in that similar, or what it could do now in this very similar position to HBAR. You're right. You really did connect the dots there.
Yeah. So it's just something like whenever you're like, wait a second, this looks familiar. Like, where did I see this before? Where did I play this before? And Theta is actually green on the day as well too. And some of the other ones in this area was all red. So Theta is holding strong today. That's a good thing.
All right, let's go. Theta fam. Megan, what's up? Welcome to the show. Love to have my fellow ladies on the show who are also into trading, and she's crushing it, man. Shout out to you. We're just talking about, the status on the cheap money coming in quickly to the market. Basically, that's what I'm going to keep saying throughout the stream, just to summarize for new people who are jumping on. That's what happened with the Fed announcement today. Basically said we're going to get more liquidity injected into the system, even though he did spook the markets by saying that the next rate cut is not certain, very far from certain. But the charts are showing that things are still bullish, that we're still in accumulation zone and retesting until proven otherwise, right? So Cam, what's up? We got the Clash fam in the house. What's up, guys? Altcoins are looking okay. They're sort of just trading to the side, right? They're just doing not a whole lot, which is good because a lot of times on these days of volatility, the altcoins get hit pretty hard. And yeah, so far it's okay, right? That's it. We're just chilling. Grab the popcorn, watch the show, and wait for the big moves, which we potentially have one brewing here on Theta and maybe another one on HBAR, right? So that's what we're looking at right now.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, well, it's just accumulation. And if like you sit there and you look at these, when this is down at this level here, if you would have bought them basically any time when they're down here, it was typically your best entry. And right now, that's where we're at. We're at our potential we're getting into our potential best entries on Theta. So I'm actually I never owned Theta, and I am actually now a Theta owner on that last Friday dips. I remember you guys talking about it, having that faith on it. So I do have a bag of Theta now as well too. So I'm in it with you guys as well.
Let's go. We got a new recruit to the Theta fam, guys. This is huge. Rob is in the house now with this Theta bags. Let's go. I mean, I like these big moves, right, Megan? We were talking about this too, that you don't have to babysit the charts, that you can just potentially wait for these handful of big moves. By a handful, I mean, this happens twice per year is what we were saying on yesterday's show, and trade those big moves. And you know, there's a lot of money to be made in those moves. It's not necessarily all about jumping in and out, although while we're waiting for those big moves, there's also a lot of money to be made in the trades that Rob and his talented team have been posting on the Discord. By the way, for everybody listening on X, I did just post the link below the video on X for the Hive Discord. It's open to everybody until Friday, October 31st, and then we're going to gate some of it. So do jump in, take advantage of all the resources there. And the BYDFI huge deposit bonus, I also posted that on X as well. Guys, get your feet wet. Join, sign up, and also support the channel. And we appreciate all of you. So, and smash that like, and let's go. And let's share this with as many people as possible, because we're going to win on this channel. We are going to win, and that's what we want for you guys. So, yeah, that's it. That's the mission.
All right. So do you want to talk a little bit more on HBAR, or do you want to jump into our gem pick banger?
Gem pick banger. Oh, we got some juice for you guys today.
Yeah, I haven't heard that for a long time. I want to bring it back a little bit. I did find a gem pick today. So
oh my goodness. So should we give it to him, or should we put it in the gated Discord?
Up to you. I'll let you're the boss.
All right, guys. Well, it's Halloween week, and like I said, we want to provide as much value as possible. So we're going to give you that gem pick banger right here, right now. Rob, let's have a look.
All right. So it's not HBAR. I mean, HBAR is gem pick banger, but and I can sit there and go into it. But our more recent one that I am actually watching right now is a meme coin.
Oh, check this out.
So I am definitely watching Trump coin. I got a little leverage trade on it this morning, just because I saw a good volume on it and it was just looking strong. And it's so this is the exact same setup as Clanker.
Oh boy. Clanker was a huge one for all of you guys who don't know. Rob nailed that. What is that? Like, it did like a 3x?
Did a 3x and it hasn't went down yet. Like, I'm getting kind of angry at Clanker right now, because I like buying I sold it all, and it's still like at the same price I sold it at. I'm like, will you dip so I can buy you again? But right. It's actually in the green today, and it's actually like, I'm thinking it's gonna go higher than when I sold it, which is, yeah, kind of stinks.
Oh
but
my goodness.
But that's what happens when you're not a holder, is you're like, oh man, I should have held that one. But anyway,
no, I'm telling you, I told Rob earlier, man, this is one play that I've been trying to make many times. I got stopped out, whatever it is. I've just sort of like been, okay, I focused on other coins, but this one makes a lot of sense to me, that Trump would run amidst all this chaos and craziness. And I mean, it just seems like, you know, the play, it just seems like this one is destined to make another huge run. So just apart from even looking at the charts, that's what makes sense to me. And now seeing the chart, I'm definitely going to get in on this one.
Yeah, so right here is just your classic falling wedge right here, and it broke down to the downside during that liquidation event. It's kind of then it came back up, and it didn't bearish retest. We got closed back inside of it, and now we're above it, breaking out of this pattern. And that is a typical bear a bear trap. Now, the only thing I didn't go back to look to see if this was a, let me see how many waves there are. One, two, three, four. So this actually could have been something like a bullish wolf wave as well too, but this, and it's getting tons of volume. So this is one here that is looking very strong. Right now we're getting a little bit oversold in this higher time frame, but that means that we got strong momentum. So it's gonna come back down a little bit, then kind of start trending up, and same with the RSI and the daily time frame. And what that means is you're going to get a good retest entry, and I'm going to be looking for zooming in to nail that entry. I really like the look of the 4-hour SMA 200, but that's already retested, so I'm not sure if we'll get that again. So that I don't have to zoom into the 1-hour time frame. We got some bearish divergence right there, it's showing, and that's usually a good signal that we potentially might get a pullback for a good retest entry. So I'm going to be setting alerts on the 1-hour SMA 50 and looking to get a scale in position down there on a entry. But this, I think, here is going to do really well in the short term, just because it's getting volume. I'm not sure if people are talking yet on it or anything like that, but that's just that's just a good strong signal. Now, if we don't get that pullback, this level right here, I placed it right here, and we need to break that. We come up, break that, retest it. That's going to be your entry. So whether we go lower or higher, we're going to have different entries, or you can enter some on the lower, then enter the breakout and scale in. And after that, what kind of profit we looking at with this?
Oh, yeah, let's check that out. That's the fun part. And for all of you who can't see, I think the 1-hour SMA 50 is right around 743.
I will tell you in just a second. Yeah, $7.43.
All right, so that's the retest we're hoping for. That doesn't always happen in trading, but if it does get down there, I'll definitely be looking to scale in and take advantage of this play.
So the small targets would be the Fibonacci retracement. That would be up to about the 702. That's $13, 60% move. But we break this level here at $16, then I think it will be move mission going into this retracement, and we can restart recovering all this, because I think this could turn into hype. And what I'm kind of looking at too is this has been if that starts going up here, what people may, so you can kind of, once you start seeing this after so long, what you can kind of see is we're holding this level here, and we're looking at some kind of cup idea right here. And that's what if that starts building up, what I would like to see, like, this is what will make perfect market structure. Like, market makers are in there helping out with this, with it printing up patterns. That's what market makers are made to do, and their jobs. Let me find my drawing utensil. I'm gonna run out of things to say before I find it.
That's okay. What I'm going to say is, man, this looks like it's starting to become a rounded bottom, right? Or some sort of cup idea.
Bills.
Yeah,
Yep.
rounded bottom. It pays the bills. We're bringing it all back. Joe knows what's up. He knows what we mean. Gem big banger. I love this just on so many levels, because so many people said this is dead. This one is over. It was the top of the market and everything is going to zero. I mean, so it would just be the greatest comeback, epic comeback ever. And so I just see so much like narratives and news that could be around it during this pump. It makes sense to me. And I've been trying to play this one for so long. So the fact that Rob called it as a gem pick banger is pretty fun. Let's see if this plays out.
Oh yeah. So you're going to be looking for bull flags like this all the way up, basically to I'm going to be looking for the closed levels right in this area to get bull flagging all the way up in there. And what's going to happen there is you're going to be looking for a rising wedge. And what rising wedges do is they typically break to the downside. But one thing that we noticed in previous bull markets is if you get a good hot token, especially a meme token, they like to go against, meme tokens like to go against the herd, against the probabilities. And if you get this on the right side of a cup, a rising wedge with falling wedges or with bull flags inside of it, what people are going to do, they're going to short it around this area, or it's going to kind of fake out down here maybe a little bit, and people are going to open shorts up, and it's going to bang up in here. Then people are going to liquidate it, or they're going to get short squeeze, which is going to add fuel to the fire. It's going to break this upside, break this neckline, then just have a nice, big, strong move like that to the upside. Killer gains. And if it only gets halfway up, then it goes all the way down. At least you have time to put your stop losses at profit. But this could be a very strong move here that we're kind of looking at. But again, we're just at the very beginning. So we're just looking. We just broke the 1-day 9 2 days ago. So yeah.
So if you zoom into lower time frames, it looks like a massive pump, but we're just a tiny little blip in this whole plan. Right.
Yep.
Wow. I'm excited about this play. I'm definitely hoping we get that pullback, and I could see this one playing out for so many different reasons. And that'd be Trump for the win, man. So
100%.
let's see.
What other people are going to be saying is they're going to be putting their, so I like, once you've been in it so long, you know what people are looking for. They're going to be putting trend lines on it like this one and going at the very top of the wicks and say, we're moving and we haven't even broken out yet. So this is another pattern that people like to sit there and play. It's just, it's at the very end of it. And we are moving, which technically we haven't broken out yet, and we're moving with volume. So our breakout is going to be the close above here, then a retest. So the pullback entry is definitely going to be the best entry, but so that's another pattern there, and that's going to be the start of the uptrend to make our cup. Another thing that makes this thing a gem pick banger in my eyes as well too is the strength that, so if you guys don't know WLFI, what this is, we have this posted in group. We already got our first entry down in this area when it pulled back, and now we're looking for our second entry. This is also a Trump token as well too. Trump's family started this token as well. So World Liberty. And it's showing a lot of strength. We need to break this next level, but it's showing strength. We don't got the volume. So there might be, like, this is trying to show me the signal that, hey, if Trump keeps running, once they take profits on Trump, it might be going here. So we might have a double gem pick banger after Trump. We might be able to put it into the next thing that follow it. So I'm
wow.
Well too.
That's pretty cool. I do have a bag of World Liberty FI. I think this one's going to do well solely because of all the massive liquidity they're getting in and institutional interest. And I do have hold a bag of this already, but I think that's a really good theory, Rob. And the double gem pick banger, guys. Wow.
Yeah,
I like that play.
I'm looking for something to kind of follow a plan. Like if this is running, what's going to be running in that same kind of category? And if Trump's running, I'm going to be looking at the World Liberty tokens, because you know what? That's all Trump family tokens right there. That's what they have in their bags. And so that's definitely going to be keeping eyes on it.
All right, let's go. I like this. I'm loving this theory here in the stream. I'll definitely be looking to get in on the pullback. You can look for these setups in the Hive Discord, guys. Join, and the link is in the description below, right? And this is exciting. I like this. I'm really liking this bullish narrative about Trump and reviving, you know, the bullish attention to the market again. And I think that the Trump meme coin running could kick everything off or be a part of that catalyst. So that'd be fun. So yeah, I think on that note, guys, I think we're going to conclude, and we'll pick back up here tomorrow. Since it's Halloween on Friday, we're going to do our crypto and cocktails tomorrow, right, Rob? Thursday.
Yep, that's right. I got to go trick-or-treating on Friday. Take the kids.
Yeah. Lots to do on Halloween. So we will be doing our crypto and cocktails and coffee, whatever floats your boat, tomorrow. So pull up with your moonshine, like Cam says. Rob loves moonshine.
Out yet.
I'll be with my ATH vodka cocktail. With here is it's Costa Rican pineapple. I always forget what country it's my own brand, but Costa Rican pineapple and mango. I love that one so much. And we're going to have a lot of fun, guys, tomorrow. So do tune in, come with your questions, the charts you want to see, and we'll be reporting on what's happened, see how this day closes out, and see if we get another entry on Trump. And that's it for today. Any last words, Rob?
No, just be patient. Wait for your signals to buy if you're trading. If you're looking to buy dollar cost average down, I'll look for the biggest dip buys and set limits there, because you'll probably be sleeping with it. They always hit for me.
Let's go, guys. Stay focused, stay cool, calm, and collected as always. And we'll see you tomorrow.